Okay, we are back on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch. And we are back now on Facebook as well. So, so I've been doing all kinds of craziness trying to figure out how to make this thing more stable, but nothing has given us like solid results just yet as far as being able to get like a stable, consistent stream that doesn't drop at some point. So, which sucks because like I'll get like a good crowd going. We'll get like a bunch of people on like TikTok and Instagram and like Twitch, and then like all the YouTube people start coming in, and it's like, and then just bam, it just drops for no goddamn reason whatsoever. So, okay. Yes, but AC447 is back with us. So, okay. Yeah, so what that card was saying is that basically, don't be rash in making any decisions right now. Right now, it's saying just we got to be cool, we got to be temperate, and really weigh out all possibilities before you decide to make any major moves. Okay, we got Alan here on Facebook. What you got going on there, Alan? Would you like me to draw a card for you? All right. Yeah. So yeah, the streaming service that I'm using, I think it's a new service, and I think with that they got a lot of bugs that they need to work out. But yeah, it's the only one that I found that allows me to go live on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, Facebook, and then I guess I could go live on Twitter as well, but yeah, I don't do anything on Twitter. So yeah, I think they've got some crap to work out, but hey, it's like right now I'm just using the free version of their software. If they can get it together, I will be more than glad to pay for it, but yeah, nothing else gives you the options of being able to stream to all the major like social networking platforms like that. So, but anyhow, while we are up and running, so I think we got just Alan and Alan on Facebook and AC447 on Twitch. So, either of you have any questions for me? So, Alan, you missed the drama a little bit ago. We had somebody jump on that was like trying to stir up some shit. It's like, and I guess they got mad because I have on my Facebook profile that I do not like Donald Trump. So they were coming in and like calling everybody names and calling me a fake wizard. So we had to bring down the ban hammer. Okay. Well, since so AC447. That's Alan. Okay. It's like, well, I apologize because it like doesn't show me like if you have like an avatar or anything like that. It just shows me your screen name. So okay, so we have okay, well, just to to not confuse the two, we've got a different Alan on Facebook, and then we've got Alan on Twitch. So I will refer to you when I say Alan, I'm gonna mean like Facebook, the Alan on Facebook, and when I say AC447, that's gonna be Alan on Twitch. So yeah, man. So Alan on Facebook is saying that he would love to schedule a legit session. So yeah, I will message you. Let's get something on the calendar, man. But yeah, jam sessions. We got like a little like blues jam thing that we got going on. Anytime that you're free on a Tuesday night, and don't mind making the drive out to Sandy. That's when we jam. Okay, and then we got CJ back with us on Instagram. All right. CJ, you got any questions for me? Okay. So, yes, Allen, like the other Allen is an Allen. So, and then my middle name is actually Allen, but that's Alan. So, all right. Well, I'm just going to start pulling cards at random, see if we can like tell a story here. I'm just going to say, okay, well, just to the universe in general, like anybody that's tuning in right now or is going to be watching this later, like give us a message here with the cards that I'm pulling. Okay. So we have 9 of potions, or this would be the equivalent of 9 of cups reversed. Now, the traditional artwork with the 9 of cups, you got this guy who's sitting on this hard wooden chair. So he's not like entirely comfortable, but behind him, he's got like all of these gold cups surrounding him, and each one of those is full to the brim. So the and I there's the story that I tell. It kind of goes along with my own personal experience and going to therapy and having to learn this lesson that we are like a remarkably depressed generation, and a lot of this is social media doesn't help. We only get like the highlight reels of everybody's lives. We don't get to see like everybody's personal struggles, and we have constantly forced upon us this idea that happiness and bliss is something that has to be there at all time. And if you're not like living it up 24/7, if you're not like in absolute bliss 24/7, that then something's wrong. It's like, but you're never going to get to a state of being completely happy. And the end goal is to be in that situation where it's like, okay, like I've got this hard wooden chair that I'm sitting in. I'm not entirely comfortable, but you know what? I'm realizing it's like I got a good crew behind me. The cups that I've got right now are all full. So things aren't all that bad, but it's just getting to that level of being able to say, you know what? Sometimes things suck, and that's okay. Now, when we take that card, we flip that upside down. What that's saying is that in general, things mostly aren't okay. It's either the universe in general is either in a situation to where it's like we are being blind and ignorant to all of the problems that are truly going on around us, or we've just let ourselves get comfortably complacent with the situation to where we're just still blind to the truth of everything that's going on, and have just decided, okay, we're just gonna like let this slide. But well, okay, if I'm going with what my gut's telling me, this is like a warning to all of us as far as how we got to where we are right now to begin with. It's the whole theme behind that is avoiding that comfortable complacency, because that's what got us where we're at now, or everything leading up to this, everything that we had, like with the election in 2016, and like the debacle that was. It's like we got the candidates that we got because everybody was comfortably complacent, and just nobody gave a crap. It's like we're like, okay, well, I've got my Xbox 360 and my studio apartment. I've got my crappy job and my Honda Accord. Like, that's all I'm going to worry about. So we wound up with the worst possible candidates that they could have come up with. And as Robin Williams said, the problem with political jokes is they fucking get elected. So, and nobody thought that Trump was going to get elected. The bookies all had like a 96% chance that it was going to be Hillary. Everybody thought that Hillary had it in the bag. Well, the thing is that he had a very like energetic base, that he lit a fire under people, and they showed up to the polls, and everybody else stayed home. So, and since then, we've seen where we're at now, where we've had just 4 years of absolutely bungled leadership. And the problem there is that it's not an ideological thing. Let's be honest about this. And maybe, we're getting a little too political for some people, but it's not an ideological thing. It's not conservative versus liberals or anything like that. Whatever it is that you call yourself. It's like, if you're going to, it's like, okay, maybe having lived through the George W. Bush administration and now the Trump administration, like, I definitely swing a little bit more to the left now. But if you're going to come at me and say, hey, I'm a hardline conservative, I follow hardline conservative values, I'm going to say, that's great. I can respect that. But you can't tell me that what Donald Trump was running on, that any of his values are in line with traditional conservative values. Donald Trump was and the funny thing is that they're trying to like start their own party now, like based, the Trump Patriot Party or whatnot. But let's be honest, this isn't any kind of ideology. This is all just the narcissism of one man, and really it smacks of being an absolute cult. Don't trust anybody except for me. You can't trust the media. You can't trust anybody else except for me. It's like I am the only mouthpiece of truth in the world. And yeah, so we wound up with this absolute debacle where, we've got 400,000 people dead from a virus that he said was going to be no big deal. We've got, record unemployment, just all kinds of crazy problems. And this all happened because we got comfortably complacent. And I think another, the change that we want to see, this is that card in particular saying we can't let ourselves get there again. And one of the big things is we got to hold our new leadership. We got to hold their feet to the fire. Something that I've seen a lot of people saying that I think is absolutely true is that we need to remind the Biden administration that none of us voted for Joe Biden. We all only voted against Donald Trump. So, the changes that, you guys want to see in the world, this is saying we really gotta like hold our leadership's feet to the fire if we don't want to wind up in a similar situation again. So we had Alan on Facebook kind of adding to what I was saying earlier. Says life isn't about being happy, it's pursuit. The struggle and setbacks are part of the experience. An artist never loves the work they do until it is finished, and even then they still don't see their work ever meet their own expectations. So life isn't about being happy. Being happy means that things are stable and calm, but if you are always stable and calm, then you have no reason to progress and better yourself. So exactly. So okay, and then we got CJ says, oh, so he's saying that he has the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot deck as well. So you'll say, I got this for my birthday this past weekend, and this is actually the second time that I broke it out. So I actually did a reading for somebody on Monday, and they wanted me to read from this deck. So that was the first actual reading I did with this one. So then we got Kimberly on Facebook. So asking me if I can pull a card to see where her career path is going. Okay. Then what do we got here? So it says this is Knight of Presence reversed, which would be the equivalent of the Knight of Pentacles reversed. So what this is saying is that really, the current career path, it might be time to consider changing career paths at this point. I'd like to say, the Knight of Pentacles reversed, that's like a Don Quixote story to me. That's very much we're fighting a lost cause. I'm thinking that okay, as long as I buckle down and work hard, don't take any days off and show my bosses, what I'm really worth, then something's going to come through, that there's going to be a promotion or, some sort of breakthrough that's going to happen. And what this is saying is that it's probably not. It's time to, really kind of, it's that card says it's time to update your resume. It's saying, if you're worried about the career path that you're on right now, it's saying where you're at right now is kind of a lost cause. So eventually you will get to the point, and maybe things are comfortable right now. So maybe it's not a change that needs to happen right away, but that is a change that's going to happen eventually. You're not going to get where you want to go with your current job. So we got Helena joining us on Facebook, says that she would love a card for relationships. So and then once again with relationships, Venus just moved from Capricorn into Aquarius at the beginning of this month. So for those that missed what I was saying earlier about that, with this, things are becoming not quite as serious and heavy-handed for people in their relationships with that move. And we have a lot of people now that are kind of, willing to experiment a little bit more, and people that have taken themselves out of the dating equation that are starting to like dip their toes back into the water now. So now is a good time for, well, and the one that I pulled for you here would be the three of needles, which would be the equivalent of the three of swords, but reversed. So what I was saying about this being a good time to for people that have been out of the game for a while to dip their toes back in the water, now is a good time. And basically, anybody that's trying to get into the dating game right now, what the universe is saying is, it's just have fun with it. It's don't get caught up on anything too crazy. Try to go into any situation without any expectations as to how it's supposed to turn out. So, but yeah, that's saying it's go out, let your hair down, have a little fun, go on. Yeah. As far as relationships go, one of the big things there is, okay. Since you guys kind of have me going on a tangent here. So I've been doing a lot of reading and research, and I've actually started writing a book about my own dating experiences. It's the funny thing about this is that I got all of my friends coming to me and they're like, "Hey, you go ahead and include our crazy stories as well. You can say that this is all stuff that happened to you. Just, whatever money's made off of it, just buy us some beer with it." So, but the tentative title that I have for this is No One Has This Figured Out Yet. And I think in the end, when it comes to relationships and dating and things like that in general, there's all kinds of experts out there. But in the end, you can read every book out there. You can listen to every expert out there, and it still may or may not pan out for you, because this is something that we've been trying to figure out since the dawn of humanity. And in the end, we're trying to make logical sense out of probably the most illogical thing in existence. But the fact that it is the most illogical thing in existence is one of the things that makes it so beautiful, and one of the things that really makes life worth living. But I'd say if there's two things that I have learned about relationships at this point, it's the big things to look for in any relationship, all red flags and deal breakers. It really comes, and what's really needed to keep a relationship running. It all comes back to two things, and that's respect and being able to have fun. So all of the deal breakers, the red flags, addiction, cheating, poor communication, things like that. It's these are all predicated on the one thing, and that's respect. Do they respect you? Do they have respect for themselves? It's if they respect you and if they respect themselves, they're not going to have poor communication issues. They're not going to cheat on you. They're not going to have addiction issues. They're not going to have the anger issues. It's and I think one of the important things that a lot of people wind up missing from their relationships, and one of the important things that has to be there in order for a relationship to stay strong, is relationships are supposed to be fun. They're not supposed to be a cause of stress. They're supposed to be something that we can turn to for emotional strength, and they are supposed to be a source of fun and joy in our lives. So So Helena says she's ready to dip her toes in and start having some fun. Yeah, big thing there is just, have fun. Don't go into anything with any expectations. So then Kimberly says, could you perhaps tell me where my relationship is going with my hubby? Do we have anything interesting coming up? Okay, let's see what we have going on here. Oh, and okay, Facebook kicked us off for a second, but we're back on. Okay, so I'll go ahead and go over that again. So Kimberly says, could you tell me perhaps where my relationship is going with my hubby? Do we have anything interesting coming up? So, and I pulled for you Ace of Needles reversed. So what that tells me is that there's going to be there are going to have to be some major decisions that are going to be made coming up, and to expect that you guys are going to be coming to blows over that. Nothing that can't be worked out, but it's like if you guys realize that, especially as you're trying to like move forward, it's going to be that like ace. Well, in this case, like Ace of Swords. This is all like intellectual, like wisdom issues, things like that. So there's going to be like clashes of ideas, especially like you guys are trying to figure out like what's the next step in the relationship. Where are we going from here? So expect that the two of you, and really it's if relationship isn't supposed to be with, the two of you are exactly the same and see eye to eye on absolutely everything. There's going to be conflict. There's going to be disagreements. And I think a lot of this is just a call to like, okay, make sure that your communication stays really strong. Make sure that there's absolutely nothing left unspoken between the two of you. And I'd say as you guys are moving forward, this is going to be one of the important things for you guys to do. And with the challenges that are coming up here, and there's major changes that are going to be coming up. I feel like it's not just a progression of the relationship, but there are like financial moves and a possible physical move. That's just flying entirely by my gut. I could be wrong. But with these major changes coming up, you guys need to sit down on a regular basis and just be able to have it out. Say, like, I need to know absolutely every minute detail that's on your mind. I need to know the microscopic truth about like how you feel about everything. So, and just, be able to have it out. Realize we're not going to agree on everything, and having these conversations mean that there are going to be some arguments, there are going to be some hard feelings, but the more that you guys can sit down and feel comfortable, want to say the operative phrase there is the microscopic truth. It's like if you guys can sit down and really just face to face tell each other the microscopic truth about what's on your minds, how you feel about absolutely everything, then you're gonna pull through. You're gonna get through those challenges. So then we have AC447 had to jump off, but is jumping back on Twitch. So then we have Eve on TikTok. So Sad Californian that just joined us a little bit ago. Okay. So then we have Brett that just joined us on Facebook. Says, can you pull a card for me? Tell me if I'm ever going to meet anybody that I will have a connection with. Okay, let's see what I got for you here. Okay, so I pulled for you Three of Presents. So this would be like the equivalent of like Three of Pentacles. And what that tells me as far as relationships goes, it's not only is that something that is going to be on the horizon, but I mean, Three of Pentacles, that's all about like agreements being made and like an agreement in your favor. So not only does that say, there's somebody that you have a connection with, but this is also, and I don't want to like get hopes up too much as far as this goes, because I know, if we're saying like the dreaded M word, there's a lot of like fear there. So it might not be a possibility of marriage, but it could be something that's going to be like very similar. So it'll be the type of arrangement where the two of you will, there's going to be a business element to it, where it's going to be, this is somebody that you can actually like build with and grow with. So then we have Haley joining us on Instagram. So Haley and I go back a little ways. Like back, we used to have we used to have the what we called the Seekers Council, and there was 4 of us that did a live stream, and it's like she was one of the readers that we had on there, and so how's it going, Haley? It's been a while. So then we have Christopher joining us on Facebook. So how's it going, Christopher? You got any questions for me? So then Haley is asking how I'm doing. Say, all things considered, I can't complain too much. So it's like things could always be better, but I am grateful that I have a roof over my head. I've got some money in my pocket, and all things considered, with everything else that I've been seeing in the world, especially I've been having to do some heavy-handed, like hard-hitting readings lately for people that are really in the thick of it, really suffering. And I think what it comes back to is Socrates once said, if we could take all of the suffering in the world, put it in a large pile from which everybody has to draw an equal share, then most of us would just be content to take our own problems and go back home. So I am definitely feeling that right now. So how's it going with you, Haley? Okay. So we got about 8 minutes left. So Haley says she's been thinking about reaching out to see if I have any insight for you. Well, let me go ahead and pull a card for you. Let's see what the cards have to say. Good. So I have, in this deck it's the King of Potions. So which would be the equivalent of the King of Cups reversed. So it's like what that's saying is that really it's like you got to stay on guard. I want to say like the King of Cups reversed. That's like a very like overbearing, like emotionally ignorant force that would be present in your life right now that needs to be dealt with. Let's say that's trying to see if I can like tune in a little bit more. So what I'm feeling as far as that goes, want to say that's just okay. If I'm going with my gut, I don't think that's like a single person. I think that's like a theme of people that may be surrounding you right now. I think you're doing too much. I think you're doing too much emotional heavy lifting for people that like can't. That are it's a lot of like ignorance and arrogance and a lot of like trying to keep their emotions repressed and just like charge on through and not being willing to like own their feelings to begin with or discuss their feelings at all. And because of that, like that's all being put on you to do the emotional processing and the all of the emotional heavy lifting for them. But as long as you do that, I mean, that's gonna it's gonna break at some point. So I mean, people that can't process their emotions, like there's eventually gonna be like a blow up on their end, and then there's also it's like you're gonna if you internalize that too much, there's gonna be complete and total shutdown. That and it's like we know it's okay, maybe being like real weird, but you got to be real careful there because this is something that I've noticed with a lot of people that tend to be like highly empathic and do like a lot of emotional heavy lifting. It's what they call adrenal fatigue. It's like you're so tired all the time because like all of your energy is going into this emotional heavy lifting that all of your actual like body processing is just